Hi everybody, Rob Anderson, Clean Power Wash, Salisbury, Maryland. Want to talk about what is your business worth? Had a couple recent conversations with some people about buying and selling businesses. Personally, I've never really entertained the thought of buying somebody else's business. I had one person kind of offer it, just kind of passing, selling their residential side. But you know, as we grow these companies, and some guys, you know, want to get out of the business and stuff. You know, just a couple things that, for me, the way that I would look at it, that I hope gives you a little insight if you're ever on the buying or selling side. First of all, you have to understand, as a seller, you value your baby more than somebody else is going to. You see more potential in it than necessarily the buyer does. Hopefully the buyer sees enough potential, and that's why they're interested in it, but from a strictly just starting at the beginning, and that's why it takes a little while back and forth. The other thing for me when looking at buying a company would be, could I accomplish the same amount of revenue or production or whatever it may be by investing the same amount of money into this company, or putting that money into my own company? You know, can you produce the amount of revenue if you went ahead and, let's say it's 20 grand, or let's say it's 100 grand that this person wants? If you were to pay 100 grand for that person's company, would it give you more return on investment, or even just a quicker return on investment, than dropping that same 100 or 20,000 or whatever that figure might be, but spending that money on your own business? You know, most of us are not going to make that big capital investment or take out that big loan to grow our own business, but people, you know, seem willing to do that for buying somebody else's company. Next left onto Milson Church Road. Obviously driving. And so I think that's a big thing that you have to consider. You know, hey, the price might be fair for what that person wants, but would you spend that money in your business today? Would you go spend 20 grand on your business, invest that, and get better results, you know, if you were to do that versus buying this person's company? For me, I know with what we spend currently on marketing, what I would expect for an ROI on spending 20 grand on marketing, or spending 100 grand on, you know, 3 more trucks, and, you know, 50 grand on, or 40 grand on more marketing. You know, that person or whoever, what company that you're looking at, has to be producing sufficiently for that to make sense. You know, don't just invest in it because you want more jobs to do. Invest in it because you see that it is a valuable commodity that gives you either access to a new area, or has that established branding, or and certainly you know, whether or not you're buying the company, or if you're buying the equipment, are you getting employees with it? I know sometimes people will, even if it does come with employees, then fire them all and start from scratch, so you don't have these bad habits, the previous loyalty, and you're just the new owner. You know, that's... Take the next right onto Parsonsburg Road. Let's turn this down just a little bit. But those are kind of my initial things, and I don't, you know, in these various situations that I'm talking to people, you know, I know that I could go spend 10 grand right now on marketing and produce $100,000 minimum in additional work. Just knowing what I know from our current marketing levels, from what we're spending and what we're receiving in revenue, that if I drop another 10 grand, and I guess I should, I'd make at least 100, probably closer to $150,000, $200,000. We don't spend 10 grand on our marketing a year right now. I just need to go ahead and talk myself into that. But if it's the digital side of a company, so if there's no equipment, Which again, when you're selling that, your equipment is not going to be worth as much money as you spent on it. You know, you're going to, sorry, let's leave that there. It's a bumpy road, my bad. You know, for that 10 or 20 grand, could you buy it if your customer acquisition cost is 30 to 50 bucks? How many customers could you get that way? That would be your customers. You know, because unfortunately, when we have a digital, just the digital side of a company, oops, I think I was supposed to turn right there. We'll turn around real quick. But so yeah, so if you're buying essentially the customer list and the website and reviews and all that, and current SEO ranking, you know, yes, that's stuff that you're getting at a discount from, you know, all the time and effort that it took to get to that point. But again, same thing there is, if you were to spend that same amount of money or more or less money, could you accomplish that in, you know, a reasonable period of time? You know, could you go ahead and get another 20 or 30 reviews if you use something like Review Monster or any other review software, and ask those customers over the next 6 months, could you accomplish that and get that search engine ranking? Sorry, goodness. Because the other big thing to also keep in mind is that because there's such a low barrier of entry for this industry, somebody could do that. They could take $100,000, buy 2 trucks, start from scratch, build their website, get their branding, all that other stuff. Yes, it takes a little bit more time, and certainly for us, and I've been in business 12 years, and we're finally to this point. We spent a lot of time, you know, building and building and building to get to this point. So just kind of, again, this gets in my mind as far as what would I take that deal, would I buy that company, and also their overall, you know, you got to look at their reputation, the health of the company. Have the clients of this company been used to employees showing up, or has it been, you know, Rob Anderson's been out at every single job? Well, if all of a sudden Rob sells it and now John owns the company, well, they were hiring me. I was the company, so I'm not with the company anymore. That changes that value. That changes whether or not that customer is likely to continue. And if you're buying a straight customer list, you better make sure that you have a way to then maximize the amount of repeats, maximize the return business that you're getting off that customer list. Because otherwise, you'd be better off just trying to go after new clients than keeping what's there. So, guys, I hope that helps. And certainly, if you are getting ready to try and sell your business, you should be pushing on your business to get it to be as profitable, as much production, as many clients as you can. Make sure it's nice, strong, and healthy before you go to try and sell it. So, have a great day.